Chapter 70, Day 5, 5th floor phase, False Evil. I could feel everyone gazes. I was that person, the first place. They didn't say anything, but I could tell they were thinking it. The other person was a man approximately my age. He was a solid body, stylishly shaved hair, and had won 8 consecutive victories. His expression showed that he wasn't confident about, that it was confident about his 9th victory. He took out medicine from his inventory and drank it. That meal looked very delicious, but can you move properly with your full stomach? Was he observing me? His tone was a mix with unease, sounded pretty awkward. Yes, I gave an inflexible but sincere reply. There was a funny expression from his face. Now, begin. The other person immediately rushed at me. His technique was easy to identify. It was a technique to make his body solid. He swung a fairly big hammer. Maybe it was to hide the punch coming from his other hand. You rat! He made a fist with all his strength. Limiter release. Muscle strength exceeded the limit. Muscle strength 30. 13. I thought it was only an increase by 1. He could see that any ability over 11 points was enormous, just looking at the reflex that had 12 points. The other person's first fist wasn't slow, but it was a first punch reminiscent of an athlete. But I was able to easily avoid it. I grabbed at its weight and turned my strength to lift him up from the ground. Even though he had the ability to harden, his weight wasn't that heavy. I slammed the opponent on the ground and climbed on top of him. Limiter relief when turned off, but it didn't matter due to the huge difference in muscle strength. Talent has been acquired. Grappling. The ability to throw the opponent. Damage will rise according to the level. Muscle strength and balance will slightly increase. I was thankful, but there was still a lot left to gain. I held one on the hand on the opponent behind his back. I took his left little finger and folded it hard. Crack! There was the sound of a metal breaking rather than bone, and it was quickly followed by a scream. Blah, blah! Hey, what are you doing? I truly wanted to thank him, but it wouldn't end with joystick. Crack! Stop! I surrender! It probably wouldn't work. I looked at the statue, of course. It didn't interfere. So far, no one had surrendered. The assumption was that they wouldn't die when the HP became 0, so everyone hit with all their power fight until the HP was 0. I grabbed the right ring finger at this time. It broke. Croak! There was a foaming sound. His HP was only decreased by a teeny bit. Talent has been acquired. Talent. Torture. The efficiency of dealing with physical, mental distress to others. It will increase in proportion to the level. Emotional control has slightly increased. Has a completely effect on the talent. Compulsion. Stop, please, what are you doing? He was already provided enough. I said I had gained the talent and experience. Now his screams will apply psychological pressure to the other people. There was a reason for inciting fear in the other humans. It was difficult to win against 22 people. If so, my goal was to frighten them, to prevent them from challenging me at all. There was nothing to lose, so why not try it once? Thought my ID. I broke the last finger of his hand. It was the thumb. The level of a talent has risen. Torture, level 2.4 on 200. Hack! It would be a lie to say that it was a scream didn't hurt me. Torture wouldn't be justified even if the person wasn't killed. Stop! Please! I wanted to close my eyes and my ears, but I couldn't, so I showed even the slightest hint of weakness. Then other contestant might use that gap. Emotional control has exceeded his limit. Emotional control 11. Once I finished with the right hand, shout behind who were out from the people. Watching, stop it, you bastard! Are you even a human? Crowd pixology was truly scary. Fear became secondary as they protested the ethics. It was good enough. I will stop then. I formed a fist and punched the poor man's head. Kung. The screaming stopped instantly. Although it was painful, most of the man's HP was intact. The remaining amount had disappeared instantly. When considering the punch contained 30 strands, the fact that his head was against the floor made it the perfect scene of directing. I threw his unconscious body outside the stage, then I beckoned. You told me to stop, so I need someone to replace him. Talents have been acquired. Talent fails evil, the ability to plant evil impression on others. It will increase in proportion to the level. Charisma has slightly increased. Talent have been acquired. Talent induce fear, the ability to plant fear in the mind of others. It will increase in proportion to the level. Charisma have slightly increased. Benefit will open at level 5. Charisma has exceeded the limit. Charisma 11. Those who yelled avoid my gazes as I gestured. It took almost a minute for a challenger to emerge. I'll do it. It was a woman in her early 30s. She didn't seem like someone who could hurt anyone. She was very passive, and as she headed up to the stage, it seemed like she took I wasn't going to torture a woman. Or she plunged toward as soon as the sun statue announced the start of the battle. She narrowed the distance with a slight smile and took her first a fist-like cylinder. Pack! It was some kind of launch evidence that I felt a punch in my chest. 9 needles were locked into my chest in a circular pattern. I fell to my knees. Oh, thank you. My smile became bigger. The woman shook the cylinder as she approached. Thank you too. I received a very good idea. My kneeling body shook as I didn't say anything. 9 more needles entered my chest. The poison kept screaming inside me. The woman's attitude completely changed as she pushed me at the chest. I felt and the woman came on top of me. Am I just going what I learned from observing you? So please scream a little more. What is her original preference? It seemed like she didn't like the fact that I wasn't screaming. She thought I was trying really hard to endure it. The body spasms and stupid moaning stopped. I grabbed the woman's throat like I was going to crush it. I had the previous antidote drug received from Yang Sunin on the fourth floor, so I had received the woman's needles without worrying. I flipped the upset woman over and put her down on the floor. The woman's eyes filled with astonishment and the question as she looked up at me. I just said, a dramatic production. The woman's voice trembled as she begged. Don't, please. Was this her preference? Then you have to pay it. Pay! I want all the items you have, including that launcher. Once ejected, the item dropped to the floor with a loud sound. Yapsel manufactured homemade dart gun. Equipment item, rank D, a launcher used by the nomadic people of the Yapsel Desert. It mimics the structure of the archer scorpion that inhabits the desert and is made from the curb system from a cactus. It can slope up to 9 needles at once, and there is no reduction of the size of the needles. The poison won't disappear even if the terrified red dart hits the ground. I gave it. Now let me go. I started. The bones that I didn't have the capability of being hardened were easy to break. The sound was more playful and above all, there was no guilt. Pain tolerance made the pain of the 9 needle more tolerable, but I didn't remove it. Torture, level 3.4 on 400. When the woman's HP became 0, I wouldn't describe it. Honestly, I was a little bit nauseous seeing it. I instead picked up the items that fell on the ground. Except for the dart launcher, they were all cosmetics and coins. When the torture of the woman had been in a full swing, her shaking had dropped additional things. Are there more challengers? No one answered. In other words, it was a yes. Good. The owner of the talent has been decided. The stone statue walked over me with the light. The letters didn't appear immediately. The additional talents we applied on the 6th floor. Now, please go back to your place. I nodded and descended the stage. The people surrounding the stage parted like the Red Sea. It has approximately 20 minutes since the first got on the stage. Certainly, I wouldn't want an encounter with me after watching me torture someone for 20 minutes. There was only one exception. Thank you for your efforts. Honestly, I had been wondering if there was a possibility of betrayal, but Yoon Sang-yoon just greeted me with bright eyes. She whispered in a low voice. It was very cool. Cool. You did see what I did. Of course, I watched it all. It wasn't just locked there, but Wowie on her face. My lips were white. Sweat was dripping down my forehead. It isn't like you wanted to do it. That wasn't an easy thing. So, you were cool. You also aren't normal, just like me. I placed the dart launcher in my inventory. I looked at the unknown bottles I also picked up from the woman. Can you look at this for me? Of course, I will identify the bottle and hang over them again. I leaned against the wall and breathed deeply. It was a mental rather than physical fatigue. Yes. Was that next? Everyone gasped had already moved toward the stone statue. As I told you, the dungeon you are exploiting is a nurturing course. It is a place for your growth. Therefore, it doesn't matter how many people reach the end. Those who reach the end of the dungeon are qualified in his eyes. Once we cleared the dungeon, it was a practice course. We would encounter why he wanted us. I asked myself a question. What is mandatory to attend the game? I'm afraid so. It can be helped since we brought you for that purpose in the first place. If you don't participate, then it will be treated as the same as an out for the dungeon, completely losing all desires. But don't think it about too much. You have gained strength through his power, and can gain recognition even if you don't succeed in attaining this purpose. Is that so? The stone statue was clearly looking at me. I felt like it was floating. Then, please receive this prior to going to the sixth floor. Return ticket, 5th floor, has entered your inventory. If you tear the ticket, it will be sent to the 5th floor for 12 hours of rest. It isn't present now, but there will be shop and various facilities. After 12 hours, you will return right back to where you tore the ticket, so be careful. Okay. Finally, the stud started to shake. It wasn't turning back into a huge statue again. The height reached a certain sign and several small squares plates were formed. I will send you in groups of 7. Relax and wait. When 7 people are selected, stand on the platform in order to go on the 6th floor. Let me know and I will send you immediately. 7 people. I didn't say whether the 7 people could fight or cooperate on the 6th floor. It was rather abrupt to join up with 5 other people, so I had never shared a word with. Oh, I will write this as a reference. One whole wall was filled with large letters. Kimchi Hall. It was a list of 244 names. This was the leaderboard. Please note that the last 7 players will automatically be on the same team. The silent bench instantly became filled with conversation. People were checking each other's name and rank while planning out combinations. They aren't coming towards us. To be exact, they aren't coming toward me. Number 1 was a number they couldn't reach. A while ago, they had seen my brutal action. All the people were thinking hard to try and avoid becoming part of my group. As such, there was nothing I could do. I sat on the floor and opened my book, pouring all my focus on the page. How much time has passed? The surroundings were quiet. I raised my head. End of the chapter 17, I think.